Welcome back to Metals, Money, and Markets. We are December 28th. For MiningClips, Rob Goodman, and as always, Mickey Fulp, the Mercenary Geologist, will run through it one last time for 2018. Mickey, you said embrace volatility. Here it is. Let's start in the gold market here where things are doing pretty good. Gold up good, but boy, silver's the big winner.
Gold, silver, and palladium all up nicely this week. Dollar was down. Lots of safe haven buying, especially in the gold market with volatility. Rampant in the equity markets. Gold closed at $12.80, up 2% on the week. Silver, $15.32. We haven't seen a silver price above $15 since mid-August, up 5%. Platinum hardly moved. $7.89, up $2 on the week, and palladium at $12.39. It actually came off about $10 or $12 intraday here to close up 2.1%. The thing I'd like to mention, the platinum to gold ratio at 0.62. That is an all-time low, which means I'm going to buy some platinum pretty soon here.
And wrapping up here, copper picked up a couple pennies.
Copper rallied today. It had its first weekly gain in December, closed at 273, up 2 cents. It is forever in backwardation. The speculative money has basically left the base metal markets, and so they are in the doldrums. But China's got some problems here. Expected manufacturing index to be negative for the first time in 3 years. So that and the tariffs and a market that's down about 25% year to date. Chinese got to come around at some point.
And shifting gears, the energy markets, a relatively flat week, price-wise anyway.
Oil had a very volatile week. It was anything but flat. It finished kind of flat. It was down as low as $42 and change in the early part of the week, rallied to close at 45.11. Rigs up +3, 154 more drill rigs turning to the right than were turning to the right on January the 2nd of this year. Canada is down to 70 rigs as winter sets in. They've lost something, 110, 115 rigs over the last couple of weeks. Production, U.S., flat, 11.6 million barrels a day. Inventories, flat. One thing we've noticed, and we're not the only ones to notice this, oil markets volatile, S&P 500 volatile. Oil has been moving in tandem with S&P 500 most of the month. Meanwhile, uranium flat for 3 weeks at 28.63.
And shifting gears into the currency markets, a down dollar, an up euro, and a down loonie.
Yeah, and as we spoke, the down dollar led to an up price in precious metals, also safe haven buying, but dollar was down to 96.37. It actually had a volatile week too, bounced around some. Euro, 114.4, up 0.7%. Of course, dollar was down 0.7%. That's not surprising. Meanwhile, the loonie continues south as the rigs move south into Texas. It's all about oil in Canada. They got this pipeline problem. They got nowhere to go with Alberta oil to the tune of 365,000 barrels per day. The government of Alberta, the Green Party, that's the NDP government in Alberta, has now restricted production. That sounds like a socialist thing to do. And luckily for the Albertans, they got an election coming up pretty soon here. So anyway, loonie not doing well. One thing that probably took the dollar down, 10-year Treasury bills dropped down to the 2.7, 2.8 range.
And wrapping up with the equities markets, we probably ought to put it in perspective here of how drastic this December's been. But a little rally here, of course, but awful month.
Yeah, it was a bad December. The VIX, the volatility is at 30. Crazy week, 3.5 day week, short week. Included Wednesday, where the Dow was up 1,000 points, the biggest move ever for the Dow in terms of points, up move that is. Market was flat today on low volumes, still a little bit of tax loss selling. That ends for Americans on Monday. Fund rebalancing. Markets were up, markets were down. They finished at 2362 for the Dow. That was up 2.7% on week. S&P 500 2486, up the same amount percentage wise. Nasdaq closed at 6587 for about a 4% gain on the week. All these get nice gains this week, but we still have down markets for 2018, somewhere in the range of 4.5 to 6.5% major U.S. indices.
And wrapping up with that venture exchange, a nice bump this week, and someone was talking about that.
As predicted, we told you there was going to be a rally after tax loss season was over. It ended yesterday for Canadians, and actually we've got about a 4-day rally going here. Tax loss bottom, and then it starts rising. Close at 552, almost a 4% gain. And I have made some money on paper playing it the way we said we were going to. Buy at those tax loss bottoms. I've had a couple of stocks, one thing up 100% in 4 days. Got a couple other gains, 20 to 50%. So we told you about the trade. Hopefully had some cash readily available and could pick some of those beaten down stocks off.
Well, before we end the year, speaking of beaten down, do you want to have any parting words for Bitcoin as we head into 2019?
Well, I saw it rallied a bit today. I saw it was at 3,800, but folks, this is not money, and buyer beware.
Okay, Mickey, appreciate the insight. Enjoy your new year, and we will catch you in 2019.
All right, thanks a lot, Rob.